Hello everybody, hope you're having a great day. Well, I'm making sausage and cheese kolaches, and they're absolutely delicious. And they're easy to make when you use a bread machine. Let me show you how. We start with water, 88 grams of water, that's about 6 tablespoons. We'll put that in the bread machine pan and then add 1 egg. All right. And then we want to put 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm making a very small batch, only going to make 6. And so I'm going to also add 1/8 teaspoon of white vinegar. And you can leave that out if you'd like to, it's optional. 1 tablespoon of powdered milk. And 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. And now for the flour. 250 grams of all-purpose flour, that's 1½ cups. And we'll get that in the pan. Simple. We'll put a little indention to hold the yeast. And now for some butter. 3 tablespoons of butter that I cut into quarters and put 1 piece in each of the 4 corners of the bake pan. And now instant yeast, rapid rise yeast, 3/4 teaspoon. And we'll get that and put it right in the center. Not quite a teaspoon, you don't need that much. There we go, 3/4 teaspoon. And now we'll put it in the bread machine. Simple. And then select the dough setting and push start. It's just that easy. And while the dough is getting ready, I'll prepare the work surface. I have a silicone mat. I'll put some flour on that and some flour on the rolling pin. And when the dough is ready, we'll just pop that out. Oh, one of the paddles came out in the dough. That happens sometimes. We'll just take that out. You can see it's a very small amount of dough, and we want to put a little more flour on top. It needs to be dry enough so you can use the rolling pin. And I only need to work this wide enough to accommodate a sausage width. And so I'm going to have a long and narrow piece of dough, and I'll just use the rolling pin to start rolling that out. It only needs to be wide enough to be wider than the sausage. And so I work it and roll it, and I like mine really thin. I don't like a real thick dough or bread on my kolaches. You can adjust this to your own personal taste. If you like more bread, a thicker bread, well, you just don't roll it as thin. And then get a piece of cheese that I've let come to room temperature, and that's true for the sausage as well. You let them both come to room temperature and then roll them up like this. And then cut the dough and pinch the seams. Now, of course, this is a lot more work than a lot of people would want to do, but most things that are important or worthwhile take a little more effort. And so if you want it easy, you just go to your donut shop and buy these already made. That's really easy. But if you want the personal satisfaction of making them for yourself, this is how you can do it. And so I keep that dough nice and thin because that's my preference. All right, and then you cut off each of the ends, just like that. And now I have these pieces, and I'm going to pull them together and re-roll to make the last 2. I hope things are going well for you in your world. I want to encourage you to try even more difficult recipes, like you might consider this one, although it's much easier when you use the bread machine. And let's get that last one. And it helps you appreciate how much work goes into cooking. There's a lot of work, and if you're not willing to do the work, well, then you will have to pay someone who is, or just do without. And we put them all on this tray, and I'm going to brush each one with an egg wash, which is a really simple thing. It's just 1 egg beaten with about 2 tablespoons of water to make it thin. And this helps them brown and gives them a little bit of shine. So we'll put the egg wash on. Simple, huh? Okay. Now we'll cover them lightly with a towel and put them in the oven and we'll let them rise for 30 minutes. Now the oven's not on. After 30 minutes, we'll take them out and heat the oven to 350 degrees, and once it comes up to temperature, we'll put them in and bake them for 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown. You just have to watch them. And then once they're brown and delicious, you bring them out and plate them up, and this is what they look like. Absolutely wonderful and delicious. Take a look. Oh, I really love these things. They're worth the work that's required to make them. It takes about 3.5 hours from start to finish. But like I said, good things are worth the effort and the time. Look at that. Delicious yeast bread with gooey cheese and savory sausage in the middle. It doesn't get any better than that. Let's give it a taste. Oh yeah. Well, that's how you make them. Thanks for watching. I hope you give these a try. We'll see you next time. Bye now.